Hi, I'm Dave Maloney, the chief editor of DC Velocity magazine, and I'm at Promat 2017 in the UNEX booth with Brian Neuwirth. Hi, Brian.
Morning, Dave.
For someone who isn't familiar with your company, can you tell us a bit about what you do?
Sure. So UNEX is a manufacturer of carton flow products and gravity conveyor products, but our real specialty is order fulfillment solutions and storing product, presenting product to operators, to making order selection fast and easy.
And right behind us is SpanTrack, which has been in the industry for a long time. Can you tell us a bit about what you're displaying here?
Yeah, so SpanTrack, most people in the industry know us as SpanTrack. They know us for our SpanTrack product line. It's been around for about 20 years now, a little over 20 years now. It is a carton flow track, which is designed to allow for product to be stored on a pick line and allowed to present the product to the operator so that as they're picking and selecting the items for the order, it's able to be fast and quick for the operator.
You have a couple of different kinds of rollers here. Can you talk about the benefits of each kind?
Sure, yeah. So the original SpanTrack is a full width roller track, and what that is a dedicated lane concept. And this is going to give you the best flow because there's the most amount of conveying surface underneath the product. Below it you'll see is a wheel bed product, and what the advantages of that is with changing business environments, it really gives you a lot of flexibility. So compared to a dedicated lane, now you're filling the level and you're able to reposition, reslot the product specifically, as change happens, as opposed to having a dedicated lane, which is a fixed number of positions inside the rack.
So you can make any width of product and reconfigure it any way that you want to for the changing boxes and cartons and totes, and you're going to have
any change in product reconfiguring, things like that.
What else are you displaying here?
Yep. So over the last couple of years, we have taken SpanTrack and had some evolution. We've kind of adapting to the changing business climate, and one of the things that's going on now is the change in omni-channel distribution, and really it's more where the orders are being fulfilled from, and where SpanTrack is a product that really we use in a distribution center. We're having now more of our product being pulled into other places, like the back end of a retail store, different .com lines inside of a fulfillment center. But what we're seeing now is, and we're showing over here is, some examples of some packaging stations, and it's using gravity throughput to feed these packing stations. So what you'll see here is some examples where it's a place for product to be stored, a work surface, for operators to work on, and then there's conveyor that's either feeding in or out of that station. And it's the integration of that whole thing that makes it a very flexible system, which has been really well adapted to the changing business climate of the omni-channel the retailers that are working to figure out how do we fulfill these orders and where does that product come from. So now we have really an offering now which spans really from the distribution center to the end customer, and this is happening in other places now, which we've been talking to a lot of customers this week about.
And that's extremely important for retailers who have to do backstore fulfillment, to have a way to organize their stock, be able to pack it efficiently and easily without confusing the orders, and making sure that's, it's something that's going to only continue to grow over the years.
Exactly, and it's really the variety of product that they're doing now, and the number of SKUs and how they're picking and how they're packing these things, making sure that there's an organized system that presents the product where the people are working not only fast, but they're getting the product right. And that's really by integrating a lot of these products together, you're creating a solution for the customer that's fast, efficient, and it's also going to improve their accuracy.
And space is a premium, so a small footprint really helps.
And having this system allows really a flexible system, so that if different stores have different back room scenarios and the footprint changes, it's very scalable for whatever the need can be at each customer.
And we have another unique product from UNEX. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is a new product that we're showing here at the show today. We call this product Pickplank, and Pickplank is a dynamic storage system for hand stack positions, which you'll see the product is actually accessible from the back where it's on a slide, where it slides to the front by the operator pulling it forward. What this allows is for really bulky items to be loaded, and if you can picture, we're loading these cases of water onto the rack. We send the product to the back of the rack. Then you load the product in the front position. So as the product then is depleted from orders going out, the operator, rather than having to bend into the back of the rack and access the product back there, putting stress and strain on their back, they're able to position the product in the front of the rack by pulling it forward. and now they can pick the product from the front of the rack and have the product in the same. So what this allows us to do is, it's a faster pick, it's a more ergonomic pick, but we're able to shrink the window of the pallet position or the actual hand stack position, because we're eliminating the need from people to actually access the aisle. So what this allows now is that it's really done for a lot of people that are picking bulky items, and a lot of it is done from a man aboard order picker. So what we're trying to do is eliminate that transition from up in the air from the actual fork truck into the rack by having the product always in the front.
So the person doesn't have to actually step into the rack to get the items that are at the very back of the rack.
Absolutely. That's the plan.
Yeah. Very good. You're also well known for manufacturing solutions, so let's take a look at a couple of those.
Yes. Thank you. So in the back side of our booth here, one of our unique elements is that we do have our products that span from the manufacturing floor all the way to the retail side, the customer. And what we're showing back here is just different options, integrating flow for line side storage, parts presentation to operators. And what we have here is it's a presentation rack for items that may be non-flowable. So if you're picturing an automotive line, picture products like door trim, panels, seats that they still need to be presented to operators, but it's not necessarily in a tote or on a conveyor. Behind there is actually another rack, which is more of a presentation rack, which is actually being moved by an AGV, an automated guided vehicle. And that's one of the things that now we're seeing a lot of, is how do we handle the product, but we also automate that process. Mm-hmm. So.
And these are on wheels, so they could easily be pushed or moved by the AGV, or exactly. I guess a fork truck could also move it too.
Yeah, it could. Very flexible, so really depending on what the operator has, we have a solution for working with.
If someone wanted more information about UNEX, how would they find out?
The best way to get information from us is our website, unex.com, unex.com, and or call us at the office, and one of our experts will help walk you through any scenario possible.
Thank you very much for showing us what you're showing here at Promat.
Very good. Thank you.